Please rise and salute the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good morning and welcome to RPtv. Today is Wednesday, January 15th, 2020. Our story today is about the fire in Bound Brook that continues to dominate the news. Let's start with Rihanna and some of the information regarding the help and assistance provided to the community.
It is already known that the Bound Brook fire has completely destroyed the downtown area of the township. But what it has affected the most is the lives of the people who live there. This past Monday, revolving around the town, bits of wood and debris were carried by heavy winds and the smell of acrid filling the air, in addition to the water from fire trucks that are still continuing to weaken hotspots which formed rivers throughout the town. Neighboring streets of residents stood outside trying to determine their fate and what is the next step to build up their now destroyed town. Between 100 and 200 residents were evacuated during Sunday night's blaze, and many homes were still without power. The Red Cross appeared on the scene where they provided emergency assistance to 24 people from 11 families. While these families are in temporary shelters, local agencies are starting the process to help get them more permanent housing. Bound Brook has always survived and come back stronger than before, and we will again, said Anthony Prenzatelli, the board president of the Bound Brook Revitalization Partnership.
An arrest has been made in the case involving the devastating fire in Bound Brook. Let's go to Callie for that report.
An arrest has been made in a Sunday night 7-alarm blaze that destroyed 2 under-construction apartment buildings and damaged nearby buildings in downtown Bound Brook. Juan Hector Padilla, 28, of East 2nd Street, was arrested and charged Monday with second-degree arson and third-degree hindering investigation, apprehension, and providing false information, according to the Somerset County Prosecutor's Office. Additional charges could be filed as the investigation continues. Mayor Robert Faison praised the work of first responders, saying at the press events, "Quite frankly, this could have spread into the neighborhood and taken up many, many houses. Without the work of our fire department, our police department, and everyone." A small number of firefighters remained at the scene yesterday morning, although there were no hoses directed at the buildings. Not all residents were back in their homes Tuesday morning. Faison said most should be able to come back home sometime today at the latest. Power was restored on Monday. The New Jersey Red Cross is assisting 24 people from 11 displaced families with emergency assistance. The Somerset County Department of Social Services is arranging temporary housing for the people whose homes have been lost.
Now it's time for announcements. The Bake Club will be meeting today at 2:45 p.m. in Room 7. New members are encouraged to join us. Come discuss a recent controversial issue. POCA Club is selling shirts and hats for Black History Month. If interested, please see a POCA club member or email Ms. Arango at varango@rpsd.org. Order forms are due Thursday, January 16th. Anime Club is meeting Thursday, January 16th and Thursday, January 23rd after school, room 105. French Club meetings, the new movie day, Ratatouille, is Wednesday, January 15th, after school in the library. And Wednesday, January 22nd, after school at room 3. Send your special RPHS student a sweet motivational treat for their midterm. Pre-order boxed treats attached with a sweet message for your favorite test taker. Candy can be picked up after school in the front lobby after their exam. $3 each. And candy choices include Starburst, Sugar Babies, Sour Patch Kids, M&Ms, and Nerds. Exam grams can be purchased during lunches next week, or pre-order forms are in the office. Our club and National Art Society will be meeting Fridays after school in room 102 during the school year. We are working on projects and sometimes exploring new media. Join us. The Lost and Found. If you have lost AirPods or jewelry, please check at the desk at the main office. Junior Gala. Attention, all juniors. Check your school email for an important message regarding song suggestions for the Junior Gala. You can make suggestions via email or leave one in Mrs. Hernandez's mailbox in the office. Gala will be held at Westwood and Garwood on Thursday, February 27th. More details to follow. Miss Talented Scholastic Teens of New Jersey competition. Girls in the teen division of ages 13 through 17. If you are motivated and interested in a challenging and rewarding experience, you may want to check out the scholarship program. There is a registration fee of $150. You must possess a demonstrated talent, and you must have at least a C average. So if you want to have some fun, improve your self-esteem, build confidence and discipline, you may want to take a look at this program. Please visit website www.misststng.org for more detailed information, or see your guidance counselor. Here's the upcoming sports schedule. Today at 3, the bowling team takes away Broadway High School, and at 7, the varsity wrestling team faces off against Plainfield High School. At the JU match, the JU match will start earlier at 6 p.m. And congratulations to the JV bowling team for sweeping ALJ yesterday. Their win was led by Derek Wachowski and Jason Jokaj. Also, congratulations to Anthony DeVito for beating his previous high score with a 223. Wow. There will be a boys tennis interest meeting Thursday after school in room 109. If any questions, see Mr. Greco. Well, it looks like the winter weather is about to make a return. After these few days of warmer than usual temperatures, we may see some snow this weekend. Rihanna has the details.
In a stark comparison to last week's bouts of spring-like weather in the 60s, weather forecasters are expecting cold air, strong winds, and a possible snowstorm in the next few days. I don't think we're looking at a major storm, but it will have impacts across the state, said Sean Rowland, a meteorologist at the WeatherWorks forecasting company. Snow is likely to begin to fall across New Jersey on Saturday and will switch to rain or sleet as the temperatures get warmer, especially in the central and southern parts of the state. It is more likely to remain snowy in North Jersey. Some snow may linger until Sunday as the storm system moves northeast. A wave of cold air will be coming from Canada on Thursday, bringing highs of 30s and lows of 20s into the weekend. Forecasts also say that wind gusts will strengthen to speeds as high as 45 miles per hour on Thursday.
Stay tuned. We will be right back. Thanks for watching. Have a great day and stay tuned for CNN 10.
As we reach the midpoint of the week and the month, we're thankful you're taking 10 for CNN 10. I'm Carl Azus. A quote starts off today's show. "This is not an ordinary case, and all of the world is looking at us." Those are the words of the president of Iran. He was talking about the crash of a passenger plane last Wednesday, shortly after it took off from an airport in the Iranian capital on its way to Ukraine. At first, Iran said a technical problem was the reason why the plane went down. But the United States and other countries said Iran was responsible. And after 3 days of denying it had any involvement, the Iranian government admitted that its military shot down the plane by mistake. Since then, several arrests have been made. Iranian President Hassan Rouhani said those responsible would be punished, and protests welled up in the Iranian capital, with demonstrators chanting death to the dictator and asking for Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, to step down. Many of the protesters are angry because it took several days for the government to admit it was responsible. Dozens of them were arrested in the demonstrations, which Iran's government called illegal rallies. Iranian President Rouhani says his government is accountable and that an event like the plane's destruction wouldn't happen again. All 176 people aboard the Ukraine International Airlines flight were killed. It was shot down shortly after Iran launched missile strikes on Iraqi military bases where American troops were staying. That came after the U.S. killed a controversial Iranian general who was in Iraq. Now, Iran's government has internal challenges to deal with as it deals with international ones involving the U.S. and other countries. Another big story we've been following this new year, the widespread wildfires in Australia. We have some hopeful news about that. Badly needed rain is in the forecast for the southeastern part of the country, where the fires have been worst. Firefighters don't expect there'll be enough rain to soak the state of New South Wales and put out its fires, but it could bring some relief where there's enough of it. Meantime, the government of New South Wales is tossing thousands of pounds of sweet potatoes and carrots out of helicopters. It says this is to help the brush-tailed rock wallabies who are likely to survive the fires but have less to eat if their vegetation has burned. So Operation Rock Wallaby is raining food from the air. The quality of that air isn't good. Smoke from the bushfires is causing problems for residents and some of the tennis players preparing for the Australian Open in Melbourne. It's one of many problems caused by fires in southeast Australia.
Here in New South Wales, we're getting a bit of a break from the smoke that we've been breathing in over the last several days. It really is exhausting when you're outside for an extended period of time, breathing in that heavy smoke. And there have even been reports of birds falling out of trees because they can't handle it in places like Canberra, the Australian capital. But for people who are able to breathe a bit better and get back to their homes, start assessing the damage, they're realizing what a monumental task lies ahead as they try to rebuild their lives. In Wingelow, Australia, nobody imagined the fire could move so quickly. The front line was miles away from David Brueggemann's home and store last week.
But then we saw the sky go red. And we go, that's not normal. Then we heard the sound of the fire. Like a furnace, like a freight train right next to you.
That familiar sound followed by a terrifying, almost apocalyptic scene.
Another house gone.
The Morton fire, so intense, it created its own weather, raining down fiery embers on this village of about 500.
And there's houses exploding, fire everywhere. And I think, my house is gone for sure.
That picture you took, you thought would be the last you'd ever see of this place.
For sure. I thought, that's it, gone.
A feeling shared by Wingelow Fire Captain Mark Wilson.
It's different when it's your own town. Like I've been everywhere else, helped out everywhere else, but the emotions and everything kick in going, yeah, this is my house, my friends, my loved ones.
Wilson's team of volunteer firefighters battled throughout the night.
It's a feeling like you're losing. You don't realise how much you have saved until the next day. We saved well over 80 houses that night.
Even the most seasoned firefighters say it doesn't make sense how a house like this can be standing, the bushes are green, and yet just a few steps away, everything next door, gone. The fire danger is far from over.
We got a fire at over at Peter and Simona's.
As temperatures heat up, small fires reignite. But how quickly could a small, hot spot turn to a dangerous situation?
Oh, very easy, because we've still got a lot of unburnt trees in this property, and very quick, especially with the little breeze that picks up.
Here in New South Wales, Australia's hardest hit state, the fire season is only halfway through.
We're the shop. There's no other shop here, and we're the centre where everything is.
Bergman says he's doing everything he can to help neighbours who've lost everything.
We thought we should have lost about 50 houses and people dead. No one died, no one injured, and we lost a dozen houses, but all those people are taken care of now. It's a miracle. I call this the miracle of Winslow.
Nobody knows how long that miracle will last. Insurance claims are already starting to pile up. The Insurance Council of Australia estimates more than $1 billion so far, a number undoubtedly that will rise in the coming days and weeks ahead as people get back to their homes and start to assess the damage. Will Ripley, CNN in Mittagong, New South Wales, Australia.
10-second trivia. Who won Major League Baseball's World Series in 2017? Boston Red Sox, Chicago Cubs, Houston Astros, or Kansas City Royals? The Houston Astros defeated the Los Angeles Dodgers in 7 games to take the 2017 World Series. But now that win is clouded by controversy, and the Astros are being penalized for cheating in the 2017 season. The team's manager and general manager have been fired. The team's been fined $5 million, and it's lost its first and second round draft selections for the next 2 seasons. Why? A Major League Baseball investigation found that the Astros used a camera to steal the signs of the teams they played. Sign stealing is as old as baseball itself, but Major League rules say you can't use electronic devices to do it. And the league says in 2017, the Astros used a camera in center field to decode what other teams' catchers were signaling. And that info was passed along to Astros players. Sometimes a trash can was hit a certain number of times to let a batter know what kind of pitch was coming. Major League Baseball's commissioner says virtually all of the Astros players had some knowledge or involvement in the scheme, but that he couldn't determine how much each player knew. He also says he couldn't determine whether cheating helped the Astros win any games. So the team gets to keep its 2017 World Series title, though that angered fans of the Los Angeles Dodgers who lost that year's series to the Astros. Alex Cora, who was the bench coach of the 2017 Astros, was accused of being directly involved in the scheme, and he later became manager of the Boston Red Sox. So now the league's investigating whether the Red Sox also used illegal sign stealing in 2018. Before the selfie as we know it existed, a photographer started taking self-portraits every day starting on January 11th, 2000. But Carl, you might say, that's almost exactly 20 years ago. Yes, and now he's edited more than 7,200 photos into the video you're about to see a clip of. It's like a time lapse of a man's face. Is it selfish? Well, it's selfish, and it's amazing he's been able to selfie stick with it so long. Some shudder at the thought of working ISO hard to see them selfies age through a lens, but if you're bokeh with the idea, you're apper sure of yourself, and you can focus long enough, the release of a flash-synced video with so much depth of field yields such a burst of achievement, it's hard to control one's selfie at the mirror image. To our viewers at Renaissance Public Academy, it's great to have y'all watching from Molalla, Oregon, and thanks for subscribing and commenting at youtube.com/CNN10.